Hi, my name's Counterlink, or Ryan, or Rin, or whatever you know me as, but today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial for Star Citizen 3.11. Unfortunately, there was way too much content to fit into one video. I realized that about 75% of the way through editing it, and instead of having one multi-hour video, emphasis on multi because it was over 2 hours, I'm going to separate this into a couple different smaller videos. This first video will cover making an account and buying the game and purchasing your first ship, navigating the main menu, waking up in a new world, Mobiglass, the technology of the future, leaving the hotel, getting equipped, getting to the spaceport, spawning in your ship, and basic flight controls. In the description, I will be listing the timestamps to all of these different segments so you can jump around whenever you want. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more from me, I suggest subscribing as the money-making guides are coming out next. Now that all of that's out of the way, let's get on to our first section, making an account and buying the game. Okay, to start, you've got to go to the RSI website. You can get to that by either Googling it, or by typing this, or clicking the link in the description. When you get here, you'll see 3 windows. The one you care about is the one on the left. Go ahead and click it, and scroll through this and make sure to read it all. It's all lore, and it all pertains to the game at hand. So, after you're done looking at all this stuff, and before you choose your starter ship, the first thing you need to do is create your account. You can do that by clicking on this top right and following the cues it tells you, and you need to create an account before you can buy a ship. And when you're creating your account, that's also where you're going to use my referral code to get $5,000 in-game currency for free. So please go ahead and do that, because that benefits me. They give me a free ship if I get so and so many of those, and I have 0 of them right now, so every single one helps, you know. But thank you for that, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this tutorial. Okay, that aside, if you're done reading all of this, you can scroll up, and on the top right you'll see Pledge Store. Go ahead and click that. Scroll down to Game Packages. Click on Game Packages. This is where all the starter packages are. Go ahead and browse through these, but just make sure whichever one you choose, it has the word starter in it, and it comes with a game package. Some of these in this listing, like the Hornet at the bottom, don't come with the game package. Here you see the Pisces. I really don't recommend it. The Mustang and the Aurora are okay. The Avenger is my favorite. This is definitely the one I would go for if I was you. $70, but it's worth it. Just don't get the Pisces. Get the Titan. If you want my opinion, get the Titan. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and click Titan. Unfortunately, it's not letting me. I get an error, so I'm going to go ahead and try it on a different one. Okay, here we go. I'm going to click 100i for the sake of this video, and I'm going to click Add to Cart. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure I check out. Make sure you're signed in the account on the top right corner before you check out, because it is bound to your account access. Once you're done buying it, you'll be able to see it here in My Hangar. If you scroll down, you'll see your game package that you own. Once you've bought in a game package, you can scroll up and click Play Now in the top right corner. Scroll down and make sure all of these green boxes on my screen are checked for you. If one's not checked, you'll have to read what it says and get it done. And once you're done with that, you can download the installer right here. I'll be back in just a second. Navigating the main menu. Okay, welcome back. This is the screen you'll see once you launch the game. I'm going to walk you through a little bit of what everything you're seeing on screen is. So if you look on this left side, you'll see the modules. The top one is the Persistent Universe. The second one is the Space Marine. That one's new. That's like FPS combat. And the third one is aerial dogfighting and racing in spaceships. So the one we're going to want to choose is this very top one, the Persistent Universe. That's the one you'll be playing mostly in, and that this tutorial is made for. Now, there's a lot here, but at the top you'll see a location selection. You'll want to make sure you select the Stanton system. You can read through these, but if you see here, ArcCorp, that's where we're going to be going to. You have 3 choices, but for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to be going to Area 18 on ArcCorp. Make sure you select that. Waking up in a new world. Welcome to Star Citizen. You should have spawned in laying in a bed, sort of like this. If you hit F4, you can go into this third-person camera, and if you hold Z, you can move your mouse around and actually move the camera. If you hit F4 again, it'll go to a separate camera, and this one will also be independent of the other one, and they'll keep their position on you, so you can have one facing front and one facing back. Now, if you want to get out of this bed, you gotta either hold F and look to your right and click get up, or click the Y key on your keyboard, and that'll stand you up out of any chair or console you're sitting in, ships included. Now if we have a look around, you'll see we're in a HAB unit, a habitation unit. Has all the amenities. I believe eventually you'll be able to own your own apartment and spawn inside of that, but for right now you just spawn wherever you log off. Lots of stuff in here you can interact with. All the tables and cupboards. Mobiglass, the technology of the future. But for now, we're just gonna look at our Mobiglass. To open that, you can hit F1. Should open up your Mobiglass. Over here you'll see your starting balance. Here is your heart rate, the atmosphere pressure and composition, my suit status, my tracked mission status, and my vehicle status. This will show up my vehicle whenever I get it out later. If you look along the bottom, you'll see that there's a couple of different options here. I'll go ahead and go through these one by one. Your comlink is going to be where you invite people to your party and join other people's parties and switch between the channels. So right now I'm not in a party, but if I was in a party it would show up here. And also, if I was in a vehicle, the vehicle channel would show up here too. Here's where you'll see your friends that are currently online. The ones at the top will be online, the ones down below will be offline. Currently, none of my friends are online. And your pending party invites and or friend requests. Over here on this right side, you can see the active members on this world that we're currently in. You can also see the active members number count right here and the connection to the global audio channel, which is disabled. Over here, you can manage your chat settings. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the next slot. This one's your vehicle loadout manager. This is going to be where you edit your vehicles. So as of 3.11, now your vehicle needs to be stored for you to be able to edit. Do you see how these two are uneditable? That's because they're destroyed right now. I need to claim them and have them stored somewhere to be able to edit them. I can edit these two because they're stored right now. Okay, we're going to go ahead and click on one of them. The Titan is my starter ship, so I'll go ahead and show it to you. So this is, in my opinion, the best of the 3, like I said earlier. But you know, they all have their purpose, and this one's definitely a little more expensive, so it's understandable if you go with the cheaper ones. But let me show you why I like this one so much. It's because this one on its nose gets a size 4 hard point. You see this right here? And then 2 size 3s, one on each wing. This size 4 does more damage per second than 3 of the size 3s. So it's insanely good to have on a starter fighter, and that's why I highly recommend the Titan. You don't start with this, of course. The Revenant, I'll show you how to buy that and where to buy it later, but you're not going to have enough money to buy that to start with. This gun is $50,000. But this will be in here where you edit your weapons and your missile racks. You can have the size 3 missile rack, allows you to either have one size 3, 2 size 2s, or I believe it's either 3 or 4 size 1s, but I wouldn't go to size 1. I would just use size 2. Right now I have it set up to have 2 size 2s on each wing, and I'm using the Strike Force 2 cross-section missiles. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to the next icon here, Equipment Manager. Here is where you'll be able to see your clothing as well as change it. Currently I have armor equipped, that's why you see this gold on me. But in your undersuit will be equipped over any underclothing you have. You see, if I equip my undersuit, it also unequips my armor, my weapons, and all ammo I had equipped. And it just shows my clothing I have on underneath. This is good for roleplay, but please remember to re-equip your flight suit and your helmet before you go into space, because you don't want to die like that. It happened to me a couple times, and I am very careful about it now. For now, I'm going to go ahead and equip my undersuit and my exact. Your weapons tab is going to be where you can equip your weapons. You see, I have a primary and a secondary. If you have light armor, you won't be able to carry 2. You'll only be able to carry 1. And heavy armor, I assume, I've never used it, but I assume you can carry more than that. You see here, there's a lot of options, but these first few are all attachments for this weapon. Here's my secondary weapon, and these 3 are all attachments for it. And here's my sidearm, these 3 are attachments for it. And then you get down to the spare weapon mags. So in FPS combat in this game, you can't just pull magazines out of your pocket or your backpack. You have to have them physically equipped. You see, when I hover over one, it lights up one of them on there. That's because each one of these mags is represented on your person, so you can see at any given time how much you have left. You'll want to go ahead and equip magazines here. I'll show you where and how to buy ammo and weapons in a little bit. But until then, you go to the next tab. This is where your armor is going to be. And you're not going to be able to afford armor to start with, but over time you'll make some money and you'll be able to buy whatever you want. Really, there's not much of a difference in armor. I'm sure heavy armor does better for protection, but a bullet kills everyone all the same usually. You see the difference is only 10% or 20%. You see the light armor and medium armor is only a 10% difference, so I assume that heavy only protects you 40%. So I just go with whatever I like the look of, and right now I'm rocking this gold camo. And your utility tab is going to be where you equip your grenades. The most important thing you will ever equip to your character at all, the med pens, because these things will seriously save your life, and they have saved mine on multiple occasions, and not having them equipped has definitely killed me before. So you want to make sure you always keep those equipped. If you use one, then you want to make sure to click Save Changes and Equip after you select another one and re-equipped it. By the way, I don't think I've explained that yet. When you're editing your loadout, you have to click this button in the bottom right and then wait for the screen over here. It'll flash once and it'll change and it'll equip all of your loadout. Sometimes it takes a while, so just give it some time. But yeah, so to use your med pens, you hit C, by the way. You click the C button. Oxy pens, those will help you if you're dying from, well, space. I guess they give you oxygen. But down here in the utility items is where your authorization cards that you use for hacking and your utility tools are going to be. We'll go over those a little bit later when I show you how to select them. And your technology is just your Mobiglass. Down to the next one, Skyline. This is the map, I believe. Yep. See on there, if you zoom all the way out, you can see the whole Stanton system. You right click and you can drag, and if you left click, it turns like this. So how you use this is you need to be in a ship, and then you can click on a destination and click set route, and it'll set that as your quantum beacon. I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. For right now, we're on ArcCorp. It's right here, and we're actually spawned at Area 18 here. You can see this whole world is a city. It's pretty cool. Go to the next one, the MD Trader. So this is the menu you're going to use to send money to people. The reason you would need this money is because not everything in Star Citizen has a shareable contract, but you might have other people helping you do that contract. So, for example, if I had a crewmate helping me haul cargo, after I sell all my cargo, I would give him however much the agreed upon payment was for it. Or, you know, he might be able to request half up front, half after. Who knows? But, yeah, this is where you would go to pay other people. You can click begin. You see all your friends here first, and your party members will be before them. Oh, go ahead and go back in that. This right here is probably the button you're going to be using the most. It's the Contracts Manager. You'll see in here there's 5 different options up top. We'll go through them one at a time. Here on General, you'll see a couple of different kinds of missions depending on the location you're currently at. And all of these missions are self-explanatory. The bounty hunter ones, you're hunting enemy ships, and I wouldn't recommend going after one that was more expensive than 2,000 or 3,000 to start with, because the more they give you, the harder they usually are, and you can get some that give you 3 or 4 Andromedas, and that's not very fun. The mercenary ones are going to be, this call to arms one is just a general for killing crime stats, but usually the mercenary missions are the FPS missions, where you have to go in and shoot people and kill them. You'll also see investigate here. Those are my favorite. Investigation missions, are they any in here? Nope, okay. So investigation missions are missions that allow you to go and search for bodies, and you have to find the body, hold F on it, click search, and then after you've searched all the recommended or required bodies, you usually get another mission for collecting the black box, but sometimes you don't, and just from searching the bodies you can make $7,000 sometimes. I've seen them go as far as $12,000 before, but those are pretty good missions. You'll also see delivery at the top here usually. The delivery missions are more go to one location, pick up a physical box, carry it to your ship, place it in your ship, go to a new location and drop it off. Those are like courier missions. They're pretty cool. Alright, moving on here, you'll see I have some deliveries here. These personal tab is going to be ones that it's personally recommending to you, and I don't believe these are shareable. So yeah, these are pretty good, some of them. They pay out really well. You see that one pays out 19,000. Your accepted is going to be where you monitor and track which currently accepted bounties you're going after. So I'll go ahead and accept that. You see it brings me to accepted. So now I have the bounty equipped, and I can click, if it isn't already clicked, I can click track here, and it'll set a waypoint on my HUD for that. I'm going to go ahead and untrack it so it's not cluttering my HUD. But if you have a person in your party and wish to share the mission with him, you click this button, and then he'll have to click left bracket to accept it. If you see right here the payment will actually be split between everyone who accepts the mission. So if you and your buddy both accept it, then that's going 2 ways, and that's 1,000 each. If 4 people accept it, that's 500 each. Your history is going to be your completed bounties, and your beacons are player set beacons that you can fast travel to. LiveWorks AR. I don't know exactly what that one is, but moving on, this next one's called Vehicle Maintenance Services. This is where you're going to repair, refuel, or restock any ammunition, any damage to your ship, or any fuel you need. Whenever you land at a pad and you're currently sitting in the driver's seat, like the pilot seat of the aircraft, you should be able to hit F1, come to this menu, and click these, and then click on the bottom right, confirm. Give it a couple seconds. It usually takes around 30 seconds to completely complete all of them, and then you'll be good to go. It'll completely refuel and repair your ship. Going to this next one, it's Journal. It's a collection of all journal entries you have. Don't worry about it. You can go back to read through it, but not really needed. It's for more roleplay, I guess. And if you click that button, it takes you back to the main menu. Leaving the hotel. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we can actually leave the hab. So you see right now I'm walking pretty slow. I'm going to move this camera behind me. And I'm going to move this camera in front of me. You see now I'm walking pretty slow. You can actually change your walk speed in this game. It varies a lot. So how you do that is you move your scroll wheel on your mouse up a little bit. You see how I shift? I can walk at any speed I want depending how fast I move this scroll wheel. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And if I move it all the way up and stop moving it, then I start to sprint. This is also useful for roleplay, but if you can see here, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but in third person, if you hold F4, you can scroll wheel out and zoom out on your cameras. But there outside is the verse. That out there is Area 18. I'll go ahead and go into first person so you can see it. Wow, look at that. Okay. This behind me is the elevator. We're going to want to take this. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of chat so you don't have to see that. I'm going to now show you how to get to your spacecraft and also how to purchase some armor and ammunition. Okay, the first stop on our journey is going to be the gun shop, so we can get ourselves equipped with what we'll need to start off in this new world. Now, if you look on your left, you'll see the gun shop. That's where we're heading, and we're going to use our money that we started with to buy the mining tool and also maybe a weapon and some ammunition. Definitely some med pens. Getting equipped. Oh, hi, you see here another player. He paid for that helmet. That costs real life money. This here is the gun shop. Cubby Blast. Here's where you're going to buy your weapons and ammunition, as well as some armor to start you off. You don't have much money to start with, so I wouldn't recommend buying any of this armor right now, but eventually you'll be able to choose whatever armor you want. You'll see here they have different styles. Here's all their weapons on display. You can actually hold F on it and click buy if you want to buy it, or you can actually hold F and click inspect on it.
Those are great.
You can see there, if I move my mouse around, it rotates it. I can see if I want to buy this gun or not. I'm not going to buy that gun currently. I don't know what this guy's problem is.
Hi, welcome to the store.
We come back here, this is what we're going to be purchasing today if you want to go down the mining path. I'll show you a little bit more about this later. But you see this rucksack core, it's going to allow you to store items on your person. Unlike most of the other inventories. All other armor has inventories, but it's all very small. This backpack on the back is going to allow you to carry a lot of minerals, so you can go mining for quite a long time before having to come back up. So, there are a couple different ways of making money in Star Citizen. 3 main ones. Those contracts I was telling you about before, mining and hauling cargo. So you should try to decide which one of those 3 career paths you want to go down, and if it is that second mining one, then you might want to consider buying this backpack here, because you know this backpack's pretty cool and it allows you to carry a lot of stuff. Only 3 grand, so if you use my code I gave you at the beginning, you should be able to have buy this and have 7 grand left over after you buy this. But yeah, I highly recommend this armor, because to start off, like hauling, you don't have much money to start off. So it takes money to start hauling cargo. Even if you do want to haul cargo, you're probably going to want to either do contracts or mine for some resources before that. But yeah, if you want to mine, I definitely recommend this. You need to buy this to mine. And also, while we're here, you see this on this table? This is how you're going to mine. This right here is the Pyro RYT multi-tool. You want to go ahead and buy the multi-tool and also buy the mining attachment right here. It's going to set you back around $700, but it is going to be worth it. Trust me on that. Also, this is going to be where you buy med pens if you don't have any currently. You want to come up to this. This is also where you can buy different colors of the armor you see around. Each of those armor, let me go ahead and show you that. Each of these armor comes in different colors. Usually you'd be able to click it and see the icon here, but since 3.11 it's glitched a little bit and you can't see it, but hopefully they'll fix that in 3.11.1. If you click over here on utility, we'll go to med pens. That's what we really want to buy. You want to buy probably, you see it lets me buy 2 max because the store inventory is really low. You want to buy as many of those as it lets you buy. At least 1 or 2 if you can. If you can't buy them here, you're probably going to need to buy them somewhere else. And now that you've bought the multi-tool, the backpack, and the mining attachment, and as well as some med pens, we can actually head off and start
Hi.
mining.
Good to have you back.
So let me show you how you equip that. Again, it's F1. You click Equipment Manager. You want to come over to Utility, scroll down, and put it in the Utility Items slot. After you've equipped it into the Utility Items slot, you should see a second one underneath it. You see here multi-tool attachment. I'm going to go with the orbit mining attachment. If you wanted to salvage or cut doors open, I'm pretty sure you use the cutter one. But the mining one is going to be the one you use the majority of the time for mining. You see now it's equipped that to my leg right there, and when I hit F1, if I were to click 4 when I wasn't in a safe zone, I would pull that out. Getting to the spaceport. Now that we're done in here, I'm going to show you how to get to the spaceport. That's where you spawned in. You'll want to come this way. This here is Art Court Plaza. Lots of stuff going on, but for now, we just want to head this way. Down here is where we're going to be able to catch the train to the spaceport. Oh, it looks like we arrived just on time. Sometimes you might have to wait a minute to get this train. The most time you'll ever have to wait is 55 seconds, but it's happened to me before, and it does suck when it happens.
The threat's more serious. There's only one candidate who has the experience, the strength, and the vision to help the Empire thrive. Whether it's lowering your taxes or increasing your access to defensive weapons.
If you could hear that voice going on before the tram voice happened, that's actually an in-game election that's happening right now for the Emperor of the UAEC or whatever it is. But yeah, it's pretty cool. We actually get to vote on that. So if you have the game, now would be your chance to use your vote on that and go ahead and vote. There's 5 different candidates. All of them have their own wants and desires, and they said it's going to shape the way the game develops from now on. Wow, look at that out this window. Impressive sense of scale. Anyways, I guess I might speed this part up so you don't have to watch it, but yeah. It's pretty cool going on train rides. It's really immersive having to go between the train station there and the train station at the spaceport just to get there. There's no instant travel or faster than light elevator. It's an actual train.
Now
Okay.
arriving.
Getting close. Gonna go ahead and head left here and then take a right. Follow that sign on the wall, and here is customs. Eventually you won't be able to bring weapons through customs, but as of 3.11 you can travel through it with your weapons just fine. Here on your left is the rentals terminal. If you're deciding to go down the mining route, here is where you would rent your prospector, right here. 40 grand a day.
From transforming worlds to exploring
It's worth it. You can make more than that, but yeah, it's a buy-in cost. It's pretty expensive. Spawning in your ship. Here in these terminals, these are going to be your vehicle retrieval consoles. There's 4 on this side, 4 on this side. If someone's at one, you can't use it, so just go to a different one. Go ahead and click on it. And in here, you'll see all of your ships. Right now, we have the Freelancer for free, and the Titan is mine that I own. These 2 are also for free, but they're only for October.
For the latest travel
Here you can see my Aegis Avenger Titan, which is the ship, if you can remember, I've recommended quite a bit until now. I'm going to go ahead and retrieve it. You might need to claim your ship if it's been destroyed. Probably not if this is your first time playing. You can see it spawned at Hangar 3, so I'm going to go ahead and exit this. And this is the door opposite. We came in that way. This is the door opposite of the one we came in. Want to go this way.
And welcome to Riker Memorial Spaceport.
Head right.
Servicing the greater Area 18 metropolitan
And
area.
call one of the elevators.
Have safe travels wherever your final destination may be.
And here is where you'll find your ship, whichever ship you started with. Here is my Aegis Titan. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to get into the cargo hold on it. You want to come around the back, hold F, and you can click open door, just like that. Go ahead and come around this side. I'll show you this too. If you come over to this side and hold F, you can open the pilot's canopy. You can deploy the ladder, or you can enter ship, which does both of those for you automatically. We'll go ahead and go on the cargo hold to show you. This here is your modest Titan cargo hold. It's in this small and modest area that you'll be completing your courier missions. And even hauling a little bit of cargo, if you decide to. This next area is the living and habitation area. This here is your bed you can log off in. Behind me on the wall is the non-functioning food processor, I believe. That's what this is, at least. And some other spaceship stuff. I believe this is the power cell. These are actual components that are physicalized in the ship. So the components you saw earlier in that vehicle equipment manager. Up here, I believe these are more components. Go ahead and turn around and head this way, and you'll see your cockpit. Basic flight controls. Hold F and click on the pilot's chair to sit in it. Okay, and here you are. How you turn your ship on is you hold F and you drag, and you can see there's a whole bunch of different options. Your ship will have the options in different places if it's a different ship, but on the Titan it's right here. You want to click flight ready. So there's 2 different kinds of turning your ship on. There's the power on and there's engine on. Engine on is what gives you thrust and allows you to move, and power on is what powers your weapons and your armor systems, or your shield systems. So what I just did was flight ready. That turns both of them on, but if you wanted to only turn one on, you could do that. You could turn them on one at a time. These 3 screens you see here are called MFDs. This one on the left shows your current ship and its shields and the current damage done to your ship. So if you took some damage, here is where you would see that damage. It would show up as red, or if you were missing a wing, the wing would be completely gone and missing. It would show you that. This one to the right is your target select screen. So when you select a target when dogfighting, the target, this is basically the mirror of this. This shows the target shields and the target's damage that they've sustained, so you can see which side has the lowest shields and target that side. This one down here is going to be your weapons MFD. If you click guns, you'll be able to see how much ammo you have left. The Revenant actually has more than that. It has 5,000, not 500, but it can only show that many. The system is going to be where you control your gun's power usage, and missiles is going to be where it shows up how many missiles you have and what kind they are. If you click the mini button on the top left of any of these MFD screens on any ship, you'll be presented with a couple of options. Here you can select from all sorts of things. I guess I'll go ahead and go over the power one first. Here is where you'll select how much power draw to dedicate to each of your different ship's subsystems. So this one up here is the shields, this is thrusters, and this is the weapon system. Since I don't have any electric weapons, I can go all the way down here. I don't have any need, but I usually leave this right in the center. So that's what I would recommend doing. Here you can also overclock and change the power draw of each of your subsystems. This is more engineering stuff. This is high level gameplay. This isn't something you'll be messing with on a day-to-day basis. Mostly useful for big ships, but yeah, that's that power selection. And the next one I'm going to show you is comms. The rest of these I'll let you go through, like heat. It's self-explanatory. It shows you how much heat your systems are producing. But I'm going to click on comms, and here you'll see all of my friends show up here, and I can QT or call them here, or hail them. And I also see the Area 18 landing services. This is going to be, if you see that hangar above us, oh, you're probably not going to be able to very easily. You see that hangar door above us? That's actually how you're going to call to open that, is by going to your MFD and selecting this, selecting the this call button right here to hail them, or by clicking F1 and going to your comm link, and then clicking on friends and clicking this button right here. This one will hail them too. I'll go ahead and do it from this, just to show you. But this effectively, clicking that button would do this exact same thing. See, now they clear me for launch, and they're gonna go ahead and open up those doors. I'm gonna hold space to take off. What is wrong? Okay. Okay, now that they're done opening the hangar doors, I'm going to hold space to take off and hover a little bit. You see here how I'm hovering? It should be on by default. You see right here, CPLD. If that is disabled by default, you'll want to click V and turn that on, because that's going to help you a lot. You see these thrusters, how they're maintaining my current height? That's what CPLD does. CPLD controls your auto leveling thrusters and auto holding thrusters. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my gear up button. You'll be able to determine and assign that gear up button to whatever key you want in the control menu. I'll show you that in a little bit. But you can see here I'm floating right above my hangar, but I'm not free to leave just yet. If I turn around, oh no, there it is. You see that bright blue tunnel in the sky when I'm in F4? I can't see it. No bright blue tunnel. I can only see it when I'm in F1, so you actually have to leave via this tunnel or it'll engage autopilot. So go ahead and hold W and either drag your mouse cursor to change your direction, or if you have a joystick like me, go ahead and use your joystick and go ahead and make for this tunnel. You'll see on the left side there's a little red bar with a line next to it, and that's where my thrust is stopping. If I actually move my scroll wheel on my mouse up, that bar will go up, and I'll be able to go faster. If you see this, I'll scroll it all the way to the top and leave it scrolling. Even though I've done that, my max speed right now I can go in atmosphere is only 250-ish, because I'm in atmosphere right now, and the aerodynamics of my plane actually do play into the top speed it can handle. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and make for high orbit. We want to do a burn going up. You can see here my quantum fuel and my hydrogen fuel. I haven't refueled since the last time I landed, but 94% hydrogen is way more than enough. It only takes like 5% of hydrogen to make it to space, if that. So we're going to go ahead and take off here. See the city planet behind me. And that big area right above my ship right now is where we took off. That's the spaceport. Whenever you go to land here, you'll want to go to that area. That big area with white and red on it. Okay. We're almost up in space now. You see that flight system's overheating message? That doesn't mean anything. The flight system's overheating means they're getting hot, but when they're actually overheated, I'll go ahead and show you that. You see now this red light pops on down here and my thrusters turn off. That's what you want to avoid. You want to avoid overheating your thrusters. And how you do that is by not holding shift whenever you get into the hot zone. So shift is your afterburner, and it'll also, right now, it'll also engage your retro thrusters. see, if I'm traveling forward with CPLD turned on and I hold shift, it will engage my retro thrusters and slow me down. So what you want to do is use your shift key sparingly in combat, because you don't want to overheat. When you overheat, watch this. When I overheat, I stop being able to control my engines, and I can't go in any direction whatsoever. I can still turn, but I can't move. I'm traveling in a straight line, and that makes it easier for your enemies to hit you. So what you want to do is this. You want to skirt around. You see I'm holding shift right now. You want to skirt around until you see overheating, and then you want to stop holding shift and use just your normal thrusters. And you see how it went away with just me using my normal thrusters? Other ships will have different tolerances, and your cooler will also play into how long you can go without overheating. But as of like right now, your shift is a really good key to get to know how to use, because it's going to help you in dogfights. Okay, and with that, it would appear as though our time together for this video has come to an end. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, and if you want to, subscribe. Maybe you can come back tomorrow for the money-making guides. But the next video in this series will be mining, and all the little intricacies that go into it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video so far, and if you have, I would really appreciate if you could give it a like, and maybe even subscribe to my channel, who knows. But that's it from me, and I hope you've enjoyed.